There's rather a lot going on in this vlog, so I'm starting it with this peaceful play of light and shadow on the landscape. Welcome to the vlog. Today I'm going to show you, as promised, the rest of the floor renovation and the result, the finished result with the new furniture and everything, which is why I'm going to spread out the talking over the entire first half of the vlog rather than just talk a lot right now, because I have so much to show you as well. So the last time I showed you the finished bedroom floor, and today we'll continue with the main room. And for once I've remembered to actually take some before footage. This is the old cheap linoleum floor, and this is when my builder Pero started dismantling it. And at that point I left and I moved to Miljenka and Filip for a couple of days. And it's only when I started making the vlog that I realized I hadn't actually taken any videos there. I have a few pictures. I have a picture of the dog, Lady, and of Miljenka with Lady, and of the view from the street outside the house. But I know why I didn't film there. And the reason is something that I haven't really let on in detail before. That is that it was really, really stressful. And at that point, I was kind of at the end of my tether. I mean, everybody knows that renovations are stressful, especially if you have a full-time job that keeps you busy all day anyway. But on top of that, now you have to organize a million things. That's just, everybody who's ever done a renovation probably knows that phenomenon. And obviously I had to do everything on my own. So for a month, at any point, I had 3 or 4 people to phone or text and coordinate. And the people moving the piano to the other room and back. And that had to happen at a particular point in time so my builder would be able to continue working, but my builder didn't know in advance when he would get to that stage. But the piano mover people needed to know in advance because they have other jobs as well and they need to coordinate with that. And my builder got sick for a while. Everything had a knock-on effect, and that was just one thing that I had to organize. The rest was picking up the people from the commune picking up the old furniture. I showed you in the last vlog how my neighbors dismantled my old bedroom furniture. So that had to be picked up, which is usually not a problem. They'll come with a truck and load it and go, except I live in a very inaccessible place. And the road has a narrow point where nothing bigger than a van can pass. So there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of phone calls and different people and whatever necessary before they managed to arrange for a pickup truck to come and pick that up. In between, I drove to the recycling center with all the boxes from the furniture, from the new furniture, right? And all the stuff that I had thrown out. And again, this was about 10% of what I was organizing all the time. And at the same time, everything here was piled up. I couldn't find anything. I was living out of a suitcase. That was the only clothes I had for a month. And I was sitting here on the sofa trying to focus on my work, whilst in the bedrooms, literally 2 steps away from me, my builder was hammering and making noise and walking through the room all the time, getting things and carrying things back and forth. He was so considerate. He really tried to be quiet, but it's construction work. So what's he going to do? Of course it was noisy. And I was trying to focus in this very uncomfortable room that without any way of ever withdrawing into my quiet, private space for a month. And by the time I arrived at Miljenka and Filip's, I was pretty much at the end of my tether. And they saved my sanity because those two are so amazing. They are absolute saints. But there was a point on the 3rd day, I was sitting in the guest room on the bed with my laptop, and I don't remember what it was. It must have been something business related because I was on my laptop. Something went wrong, something small. And I had this entire time, this whole month, I'd been really proud of myself for handling things and staying calm. And when things went wrong, and they went wrong a lot, I was able to just laugh about it. I was really quite laid back about the whole thing. And I was quite proud of myself for handling it that way. But by that evening, after that month, I felt that I was at the end of my tether. And when something went wrong, I could really feel it that I was about to lose it. I could kind of feel it rising in me. And I knew I'm going to have a complete meltdown about a minute from now. And I was there going, ah. And at that moment, my phone beeped. And it was a message from my builder, basically telling me that he was done, that I could come home. It literally saved by the bell. I was about to fall apart, and then the feeling of relief and the happiness. I won't say anymore, just look at my face when I got back. That'll tell you everything. Check it out. This is the new floor. Okay, don't check out the chaos. I'll show you the floor. So the sofa is already there, and my laptop. This is cleaned up now, and yeah. That is how bad it is right now. And somewhere behind there is my piano that gets moved back tomorrow, which means I have to move everything in front of it first. There must have been a nail somewhere. From that time on, I was completely zen. I mean, maybe not, but most of the time I was completely relaxed. I knew I was back home. I was on my own. It was peaceful, it was quiet, and I didn't care how long it would take. I mean, I did want to get it done, but I no longer had to be finished at a particular time and coordinate with anyone else. The only thing I still needed help with was building the wardrobe, which was again Miljenka and Philip. They are, like I said, absolute saints. They have so much to do during the summer, but they still found a few hours to come and help me assemble that wardrobe, because that's the only thing I couldn't assemble on my own. You need 2 pairs of hands to lift it up, right? And so that was done as well. So in that week, in the meantime, I did all the rest of the work. And I also got it into my head to paint 2 walls of the bedroom blue because I had nothing else to do. No, the thing is that the new furniture goes with the floor, because those walls, the wood paneled walls, is something that I don't want to keep. I want to get rid of them at some point during another renovation project, maybe in 2 years' time. But when I saw the new furniture against that wood, it just doesn't fit. It clashes horribly. So I thought, oh God, I can't paint the entire room, but what if I paint 2 walls blue? And that's what I did. Again, I didn't take any footage, but there are some pictures, a progress picture here, the first half of the wall, and then all of it. And yeah, and that's what I did while I was waiting for my friends to have time to help me assemble the wardrobe and to finish the furniture in the bedroom, so to speak. Happy solstice from my green mountain. And just on time, everything is blossoming. Look at my roses. May the second half of this year be a little less fucked up, a little less adventurous in the bad way, and maybe a little more adventurous in the good way than the first half has been. And because it is summer, there must be drinks by the sea. It is the law. And so my friend Alex got a few of us together for cocktails at a beach bar. right.
Something really. I know the
And she goes, what is this? You were ill? Yeah.
God, I love living here. It's balmy. No longer hot, but still mild enough. And I just love it. So much. With these gorgeous sunbursts through the clouds, I say goodbye for today. Thank you for watching this rather long vlog. Like and subscribe. And if you'd like to not be dependent on shitty social media algorithms, consider joining the community of Wild Spirits, 100% spam free on wildspiritscoaching.com. Have a beautiful rest of the summer. Bye.